You know what it is? I talked about this on stream. I'll mention it again. I think what happened is my dad, when he was a teenager, he always like believed that, like he just really, because my dad is, like I said, he does so much engineering and has his whole life. He just really can't wrap his head around people back then being able to make like sophisticated stuff like pyramids and fucking giant H's, I guess. Oh, they claim that they've come in contact with aliens. My dad's big thing that he always preaches about is fucking Puma Punku. I brought this up at least fucking 5 times on stream over the years because my dad loves the mystery of Puma Punku. Even though it's not that much of a fucking mystery. It's kind of already been cracked, but he just doesn't believe the official explanation because my dad, he's like an engineer. And he just really doesn't believe that people back then would be able to make these cuts on these blocks. And that's the thing he harps on a lot. Thanks for membership, Dav. And I don't think Jack and Daxter's ever coming back, unfortunately. At least not with Naughty Dog. And no recommendations on that, Philip. Hope you find a good one, though. We watched Tokyo Vice. We're planning on watching Shogun. I've heard of neither of those. He just really thinks people back then were stupid as fuck. He really does. He thinks not only were they stupid, they just didn't have tools to make cuts on stone. Well, at least cuts like this on stone. The H blocks. Oh, that is interesting, Adonis. I'll have to check that out. I'll look more into that tribe. So how did they do it? According to my dad, the aliens did it for him. He doesn't have an explanation as to why. He just thinks the aliens came down here and just fucking started carving H on these blocks. He doesn't really have like a reason as to why. He just says, well, we can't know. They're smarter than us. And I'm like, damn, that's such an easy cop-out. Oh, I plan on it, Q. The series is great, so I do plan on playing it. I'm glad you enjoyed it, PM. Your dad's in the Bowling Hall of Fame, so you've met Pete Weber many times. That's pretty fire. And congrats to your dad for making the PBA Hall of Fame. I'm excited for it, dog. Did you see Oklahoma had the second biggest earthquake in its history on Friday? I did. I saw the headlines. Thanks to Resub Slasher. What was it? It was a 5.1. I met Jack Doherty. He was very cringe. Go to 1148 in his video, surprising my girlfriend with 400k Lamborghini Urus. I am that Minecraft kid. I'm sorry to hear you also met him. That guy super sucks. It's not a persona, that guy just actually sucks. I met him too. 4 years ago. He sucked back then. If aliens did help make it, why the hell would they only use stone and not give early humans advanced metal or something similar? Are they stupid? That's what I said. Like, we're just... I'm basically just reliving, like, our arguments that we have back and forth. And they're not arguments, like, they're good-spirited. But, like, I always say, if the aliens did this, why? And he just says, well, we can't know. They're smarter than us. Okay. And then I say, if aliens did this, why are they still using primitive shit? You could have easily made this out of, like, metals or something. And usually what he'll say is they want that the aliens wanted to teach humans how to do it, to help them advance or something along those lines. And I'm like, if they wanted to do that, why didn't they leave any other messages or instructions? And he says they did. It's called the pyramids. They're perfectly aligned with Orion's belt. It's their message to us. And I say, what is that message? He's like, well, we don't know. They're smarter than us. We can't possibly know. And I'm like, well, it's a fucking very ineffective message then, isn't it? Did you like Arkham Knight's story? I thought it was so stupid. Joker was in the game even after he died. Oh, I thought the Arkham Knight story was great. Like I said, I loved Arkham Knight. For dealing with hot sauces like the bomb, I found that eating unsauced naked wings will help cut the burn. I think it's the meat and oil that helps. I could see that kind of working. It's usually fats that help. I used to watch Ancient Aliens back in the day, bro. The shit they come up with is hilarious. They unironically said the Bible story about Jonah being swallowed by a whale is false. He was actually abducted by an alien submarine. We talked about that yesterday. Yeah, my dad fully disavows 99% of Ancient Aliens, but really believes that they know their shit when it comes to the pyramids. And I guess Puma Punku by extension, because they covered that. They have a whole goddamn episode on, like, Sasquatch being an alien. Or dropped off by aliens or something. I already forgot. Goddamn right, Butter. That's what they should have done. I heard of neither of those two things, Nate. Those are both new. Thanks to Resub Hero. Boneless or bone-in? I used to be firmly on team boneless, but now it just really depends. If I don't mind putting a little extra effort into eating, I'll get bone-in. But if I'm really lazy and just want the protein and the flavor quickly, I'll do boneless. Bone-in's just kind of an investment because you're going to get messy. And you're going to have to, like, clean your hands in between and shit. So it's just a little more effort. Jesus Christ, that's awful. Gaze, that's fucking terrible. I don't know if links work in chat, but if they do, you can try it. Have you heard of the Intergalactic Federation? That's kind of part of the secret space program. They're adjacent. But yes, I am familiar. This even got referenced in 2020, if you guys remember this. Former Israeli space security chief says extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it. He said, a galactic federation has been waiting for humans to reach a stage where we will understand what space and spaceships are. So this kind of kicked that whole thing off. I think we're still doing something, Strand. I sent him some things. I'd love to. What's the most heated alien argument you had with your dad? I don't know. Heated's just not the right word. Because it's always comical. Like, we're usually both giggling. But he's very passionate about it. So I guess he kind of gets heated. He'll start, like, really, like, raising his voice about it. He's like, Charlie, I built cars for fucking 50 years. I know engineering. The people back then didn't have the tools or the fucking brain power to build the pyramids. It's simple engineering, son. When are you gonna stop being so stupid? But, like, he's not being mean about it. He's just getting, like, really animated. Speaking of Ancient Aliens, remember that episode where they said giraffes used to have short necks? Blame it on the aliens? Or am I on crack? That sounds like Ancient Aliens. There was even a whole meme for a while that was passed around Reddit where they had Sukalos, who my dad fucking loves. Before I, like, watched more Ancient Aliens outside of the homework he assigned me with the Pyramids episode, my dad was like, Charlie, you gotta look at this guy. His name is Giorgio Sukalos. He knows his shit. And then it turns out he's the guy from all the memes where he does this and it just says, aliens. He's that guy. And I felt almost shame. I was like, Dad, no. Not Sukalos. This can't be your expert source. It can't be. And sure enough, it was. And Sukalos is like the worst offender of just blaming everything on aliens. So in the pyramid episode, I think it was Sukalos, there was like a speculation like, this pyramid didn't have a tomb in it. So then why was it the way that it was? And Sukalos comes in and said, well, it's because they were communicating directly with aliens in the intergalactic cosmos far, far away. And he's like, well, do you have a source for that? Like, that's quite a leap. Like, how do you know that? Sounds like he's just messing with you. Doesn't sound like he actually believes it. No. No, you couldn't be more wrong. Since I was a child, my dad has been on the aliens and pyramids. I remember being a baby boy, a toddler, and my dad would try and have these profound talks with me where he'd sit me down and be like, listen, son, It might not be this year. It might not be 10 years. It might not be 20 years. But one day, you're going to see. We're going to find out that the aliens built those fucking pyramids. We will learn that the aliens helped us advance in our primitive stages. I remember as far back as my brain will allow me that he has always been on that. Since day one. He's committed to the joke. It's not a joke to him, I'll tell you right now. Even tonight he texted me. He's like, so I see you talked about those stupid garden alien potato things or whatever. What did he say again? You say, what's that new alien vid? Bunch of bullshit. You gotta do one about Puma Punku. Love you. That was at 8:23. He is always on alien mode. Thanks to the resub, Ahmed. You know what it is? I talked about this on stream. I'll mention it again. I think what happened is, my dad, when he was a teenager, he always, like, believed that. Like, he just really... Because my dad is, like I said, he does so much engineering and has his whole life. He just really can't wrap his head around people back then being able to make, like, sophisticated stuff, like pyramids and fucking giant H's, I guess. And I think he probably, for a while, harbored this belief that it must have been the aliens because it's so advanced. But was probably more open-minded to it, like, to being proven wrong, like, hey, no, that's not what happened and here's how they did it. Which we have a lot of evidence to support a lot of theories on how these things were made. But what happened, what really cemented him in this way, is my dad's roommate was a U.S. Army lieutenant? No. Major? I think it was a major. I can't remember the order. But he was a pretty high-ranking, like, a person in the military. And he worked at a MacDill Air Force Base, which is a huge Air Force base in Tampa. And they were roommates for the longest time. Even, like, after leaving the military, they remained roommates, remained very close. And he was an alcoholic, unfortunately. Very sad set of circumstances. He was not in a good way. But my dad swears by this story that he was telling the truth. One day, his roommate came back, fucking blasted, per usual, and he told my dad that, that day on the base, they had recovered an alien corpse, and that MacDill Air Force Base had an alien body there. And my dad swears by it, fucking swears by it, that he wasn't being lied to. He was in his right mind enough to reveal that information. Like, he's usually very tight-lipped. This isn't something he would normally do. It probably rattled him to the core. And I think that was the moment the switch was flipped in my dad's brain where it's like, okay, I'm right. Aliens are here, and they've been here. I think that's what happened. When really, what I think happened is the guy had a lot of mental problems, alcohol abuse, a lot of terrible things, and I think it may have just been associated with that. I don't think they actually had a fucking alien body on the base. Thanks to Tier 1 Extreme and the resub Highest Kage. And Gugu and Tom. And Fart. You need to try Slim Chickens. Beats KFC and Popeyes. I'll check it out. I've never tried Slim Chickens. Thanks for the membership, Octodad. You gotta find that guy and see if he was telling the truth. Well, I need a Ouija board for that because he's dead. Yeah, he passed away. So that information is, that's with him now, in the afterlife. The aliens got him. He knew too much. That's probably what it was. Hey, Patrick. Thanks for the gift sub, Couch. What kind of information do you think was lost in the Library of Alexandria? You don't think the Egyptians had sophisticated tools? Well, hey, what the fuck? I have been firmly on the side of the people back then were still very smart, very resourceful, and actually had a very good understanding of like tools and all of that. They had the means at their disposal to make these things. Wait, you're barking up the wrong tree. I'm on your side. Thanks to resub Hubie. But as for the Library of Alexandria, God only knows what information was lost in that. They had Stanleys back then. Yeah, they probably fought wars over Stanley Cups back then. I did more research on Tsoukalos. Motherfucker unironically said Excalibur was an alien laser weapon. That does sound about par for the course. That's the Giorgio Tsoukalos I've come to know. Archaeology degree checking in. The thing with Puma Punku is simply we have not found the tools they used. Look up Cyclopean masonry. Ancient Greeks and Romans saw these walls of huge, perfectly fit stones and figured, surely only Cyclops could have built this. 1,000 years later, we figured out what tools they used and decided the OG theory was cringe. Well, from what I recall, and it's been years since I bothered digging into Puma Punku, they actually did find the molds for tools they used to carve out the H blocks, and the tools, like the molds, what they were making, would be able to make those cuts. So I don't think there's a lot of mystery left to it, from what I remember. Thanks for 5 gift subs, Harvey. I appreciate that. You ever wonder if there was a case that we did see actual proof of alien life but just wrote it off as fake because it looked so unbelievable? I don't think anything that the general public has ever seen was alien, like real alien life. But I do think there's probably been like maybe something through like one of the, like, I don't know, maybe the James Webb Telescope or something that they've seen. It's like, oh, that's like actual alien life that they just haven't published. That's what I think. I don't think there's anything layman like you and I would have seen. Does your dad believe in the Men in Black? If so, what are his thoughts on them? No. He does not. Thanks for the membership, Ion. My dad's very, like, matter-of-fact, very, like, empirical, no nonsense, no baloney, with, like, everything except aliens, ancient aliens. That's the one thing. You should definitely watch UFOs Investigating the Unknown in Hulu if you haven't already. I have not. I'll recommend it to my dad, though. He loves all of that. Thanks for the resub, Spongy. The statistics of there not being alien life is unfathomably high. Is unfathomably higher than the statistics of there not being life. The chances of us intersecting is also astronomical. I've said a million times, I firmly, truly believe there's alien life out there. I just don't think it has ever crossed paths with Earth. I really don't think that's happened. Ever. Thanks for the gift sub, Uzman. If any light we capture from space is light years and light years away, do you think any image we'd capture of potential alien life would be long dead or extinct? There's a term for that. I can't remember what it is. But that is like a thing that gets tossed around. I can't remember which one that is, though. Thanks for the 3 gift subs, Anastasia. And the resub, Vinlana, and Tier 1 Winter. People can't possibly fathom how big space is. It's crazy. It is. What was the... I've mentioned this like 3 times, and every single time I have to preface this by saying I forgot exactly what it is. But it's something like... If you travel... what was it? It's something... If you travel a certain amount of light years away from Earth right now, and then looked back at Earth, you would see dinosaurs. Like, you... And that wouldn't even cover, like, 0.1% of how big the universe is. I'll never remember the actual fucking numbers or the actual thing, but it's if you go a certain distance that is not actually far in the universal scale, but it's far enough where if you look back at Earth, there would be dinosaurs there, because you're seeing it so far in the past. Do you by chance know about the signal that came from space in 1977 that we never really found out where it came from? Oh my god, not the fucking WoW signal again. We're not going down this shit. We're not doing this again. We've already covered the fucking WoW signal. Not again. Next we're gonna get into warp drives or some goofiness. No more. No more. We've barked up that tree plenty. Have you heard of Teotihuacan? It's an ancient city in Mexico that ancient aliens believe is an alien computer. Their proof is that it looks kind of like a circuit board. I'll be the judge of that. I know my way around circuit boards. Let's see. Ancient Aliens, City of Gods. I found the episode. This was from 2017. Jesus, this is like a newer episode. Let me just see an image of it. Like a still image. I'm guessing this one is the most circuit board-esque. That's pretty convincing. Absolutely not, Karma. Definitely not. Maybe there's a reason why aliens don't visit? Like, what can they do with a bunch of old dinosaurs? Thanks for some spaghetti. There's just so many different ways you can toss around that thought experiment. I just think faster than light travel is probably just not cracked by any life right now, would be my guess. And even if it was, I don't think they would touch us. They just be no reason to. They wouldn't need anything from us. If they have faster than light travel, we can offer them nothing. Except memes. And OnlyFans, I guess, if they don't have that in their world. Yeah, that was the Drake leak earlier, Austin. It was his cock. Search the Teotihuacan alien computer. It shows a comparison with a real circuit board. I didn't need more convincing. I already bought in, but sure. Thanks, membership, Tyler. Fuck. Those bastards. They hid their circuit board in plain sight. And they thought they'd get away with it. They thought they were slick. Don't show this to your dad. I don't think my dad would believe in that one. Thanks to the resub killer. Though I wonder if I like dressed it up well enough. Like, Dad, you know, we may not see eye to eye on all the pyramids and stuff, but what do you think about Teotihuacan alien computers? And he'd probably hit me with question marks and be like, check this out. I saw this today, and it turns out this entire place is a giant alien circuit board. And I bet he'd be like, I told you! I knew it! I'd maybe just need to put it in the right context, because I feel like if I just came at him like, what do you think of this? He'd be like, it's kind of baloney. But if I let in like, I'm starting to believe it, he'd probably be like, okay, this might be some good shit. Yeah, Megamind looks like dog ass. It's a real shame what they did to the sequel in the series. I know. I know. You gotta start making up your own conspiracies to convince him. Hire some artists to create some fake images for you. That's just diabolical. That is something I wanted to do on Facebook. I think it was about 5 years ago. And I was getting pretty serious about it. I was drumming up my own conspiracy, and I was going to hire some artists to start putting together like a lot of material for it. And I was going to start spreading fake conspiracies on Facebook for fun. But I ended up not doing it. It was quite a big time investment. And no, I'm not zero. Like I said, I was going to speedrun it, but the route's just not there yet. It doesn't have a whole lot of tech. I know about the fire alarm collector. We went over him before, Cass. He's got a massive collection. True, Austin. Do you think every single UFO being captured on video is all baloney fake shit? Some of the ones that that's been declassified are still kind of interesting to me, but I still just don't believe it's alien. There are many planets that look like they can support alien life. What do you think they'd look like? Again, insectoid. I said it yesterday. I think they'd look insectoid. Like, I don't think they'd be fuckable. I don't think they'd be hot. I think they'd just look like bugs. Yeah, I know that channel, Andrew. But I have not seen the UFO videos from them. Thoughts on Smite 2 and the skin drama? I don't... Oh, about the skins not transferring over? That is hogwash. Yeah, I understand why people will be mad about that, but Smite 2, I'm not a huge fan of them calling it Smite 2, because again, it's going the Overwatch 2 route, where it's just mainly a visual overhaul and some big balancing changes. Like, it's not really a sequel, but anything that might breathe some more life into Smite and bring it into the modern age, it's hype to me. Thanks for some nerf. I just wish they didn't call it Smite 2. Tired of that marketing gimmick. You and your dad ever talked about the Emerald tablets? What are the Emerald tablets? Emerald tablet, also known as the Smargadine tablet? What? It's a compact, cryptid, hermetic text. It was highly regarded by Islamic and European alchemists as the foundation of their art. No, I've never even heard of the Emerald tablets. This seems less alien and more spiritual. Yeah, someone just mentioned Elden Ring had some kind of mobile leak earlier today. I didn't see it. I don't know anything about it. I can look it up in a minute. But I did not see anything from it. My mom believes the earth is flat and constantly belittles me for believing it's round. No amount of proof, facts, science, or logic ever sways her back to round gang. Rough. Yeah, that's... There's nothing you can do there. It's not like she believes it because there's convincing evidence for it. She believes it just because she wants to, and you can't really do anything about that. You could take her to space to look back at the Earth, and she still wouldn't believe it. It's just wanting to. Just something you gotta come to terms with. Will you ever make a video about Chipotle? The fuck is Chipotle? I don't know what that is. Do you think alien life functions similarly to us? Like, did they evolve and create a society, social classes, economic systems, political systems? Do you think that's something uniquely human? I can't even envision what alien life would be like. I think they would be incomprehensible to us. I wouldn't even be able to speculate on what alien life would be like. I have no idea. I would say probably nothing like us at all. Not a goddamn thing. Oh, Dark Forest Theory, I know. That's the one that states we're better off leaving them alone. I think that's